Welcome, fellow crypto addicts, to the concluding video on the first batch of the Polkadot Parachain Slot Auctions. In this video, I will tell you about which projects did I choose, which project did I contribute to, at what ratios, and also I refined the model a little bit as the first auction is progressing. We got new data that I included into the model, especially for the expected reward allocation. So stay tuned for that. But before we start, please let me tell you that this video is not financial advice and that you should always do your own research before investing into anything. And now let's take a final look at the model. So you see that I have rearranged the projects here, and they are now sorted by the likeliness of them to win a Parachain slot in the first auctions, and actually currently MOONBEAM is leading, closely followed by ACALA. Then there's ASTAR, Parallel Finance, and on the 5th and 6th spot there MANTA and CLOVER Finance are competing, and actually MANTA Network is currently on the 6th spot. And here in grayish, you see the projects that are definitely not going to win a slot, and this is SubDAO, DARWINIA, LITENTRY, and SUBGAME Network, with SUBGAME Network being at the last spot. I think after that it's SubDAO or something like that, but this doesn't really matter that much because we're just focusing on the winners or of the projected winners of the first slot auction batch. So the auctions will go till the 16th of December, and the first batch of auctions is concluded by the 18th. So I think it's next week. Oh, it's actually tomorrow. Yes. Which projects did I contribute to? So I was backing MANTA Network. Of those who are projected to win, I backed MANTA Network and ASTAR, but I put most of my funds into MANTA Network just because they got a really high reward ratio. My sentiment for the project is really positive, and all in all I rated this project AAA. So why do I assess the rewards of $120 for MANTA, and also why did the MOONBEAM rewards decrease substantially from the last video? I'll tell you that this has something to do with the expected reward distribution, and especially with the funds that the project raise. And for the projects that have a flexible reward ratio, that means the whole reward will be distributed to every dot contributed, so that every dot contributed gets an equal share of the rewards, and there are no fixed rewards. So the more dots are contributed to a project, the less rewards in the token of the projects you will get. And we can make some assumptions on the tokens that will be contributed to the projects. And for the first auction timeline, we see this here. I get this data from parachains.info. It's a very interesting website. If you want to check it out, get some great visualizations there. And this basically shows how much dots the projects have raised over time. And we see that if the current growth pace is continuing like that with the angle here, we can project MOONBEAM and ACALA to raise around 33 million dots in the first auctions. And currently MOONBEAM is leading. Well, this can change if one of the projects secures some more funding, but does this matter? Well, not that much, because it's a candle auction. So after the bids here start, at a random point in time, the project with the most funds is the winner, and we see it's really close. But I think for most of the time, MOONBEAM was leading. So It's very likely that Moonbeam is going to win the first auction, but it does not have to be. But all in all, I think you can say they definitely will. I mean, now they raised over 30 million dots, and probably it will go maximum to 33 million. And if we punch in the numbers here for Moonbeam and ACALA, that they raise around 33 million dots. Well, this decreases the rewards you get, so you can only expect around 3 glimmers from Moonbeam for 1 dot contributed, and you can only expect around 5.7 ACALA tokens for 1 dot contributed, including the special incentives if you contributed early or so. So that is why I decided against contributing to Moonriver, because, well, it would have made sense to contribute to Moonriver if they wouldn't have raised that much dots, but the community went really crazy on that, and this was diminishing the rewards for everyone. And well, there you can see the reason why I did not choose Moonriver, even it was on my list, but I was evaluating the project. I mean, I was keeping an eye on it, and as soon as I saw this spike here, it was clear that it does not make sense to invest in Moonbeam for this round of auctions. I'm sorry if I sometimes confuse Moonbeam and Moonriver. Too many damn projects here, but I mean Moonbeam, obviously. Then also, I was not very bullish on ACALA because the rewards here are also quite low, and yeah, it definitely was not one of my favorite projects. But I invested into ASTAR, and I invested into ASTAR because I think they got a valid or a good value proposal, and the rewards are quite fine. I mean, well, yes, there are other projects which are giving out more rewards, but I only put a small stake into ASTAR just because I like the project and I wanted to support it. And yeah, so, well, I contributed about 10% of my holdings to ASTAR. Then I did not contribute to Parallel Finance. Why didn't I contribute there? Well, because I still get some exposure to Parallel Finance tokens, to its Para tokens, as when I contributed, I always contributed via Parallel Finance, and I will also recommend you to contribute via them, because for every contribution you get extra Para rewards on your contribution, and if you use this referral link in the description below, you will get an additional 5% on your Para rewards for contributing to any project here, not necessarily to Parallel Finance. So I was like, okay, don't necessarily need to contribute to Parallel Finance, because also the sentiment that I had for Parallel Finance was not that positive, because I think their value proposal is quite narrow, as well they, for now at least, they mainly focus on the Parachain Slot Auctions and bringing a user battery UX and UI and interface for contributing there. So yeah, in my opinion, this is a bit narrow, as all the other projects have quite more utility. Like for us, Static is a layer 2 scaling solution, and this is like always necessary and proves a lot of utility here. That's why I decided against Parallel Finance, even though the rewards right now you can expect are quite good. And why are they better now? Well, because I had to decrease the expected for Parallel Finance, we're here. I had to decrease the expected amount of dots raised. So firstly, I assumed that they will raise more dots, but I don't think now that they will do that. Why is that? And now we're going to the second graph here, and now we're looking at the other competing projects and their trajectory of raised dots. So we leave out ASTAR and Moonbeam because they're somehow special projects with a lot of either with a great community backing them or a lot of big institutional investors backing them. But for the other projects, this is not the case, as you can see here, and they have a slower steepness in their dots raised graphs. So on top here we got ASTAR, and well, if ASTAR will definitely not win in the second auctions, because you can see here there is just too much space. If MOONBEAM or ACALA win, well, the next project here will continue raising funds further, and so that's why no one will win. No one of the other projects will win in the second auction, but in auction 3 it gets interesting, because then the projects are, well, competing again. And here, if they have the same the same steepness of their graphs on the amount they raise, we can see that for ASTAR they will probably, if everything goes similar to how much they have raised now, they will be in the between 10 million to 15 million dots they will raise to win, or will have to raise to win here, and so will the other projects to win in the next auctions. So I adjusted the amount of dot raised, so upwards of 10 million, and as MANTA network is quite low here, so on they are competing with CLOVER Finance, and I have to have two remarks about that project later on, and they are very important, so stay tuned for them. And they're not good remarks, so don't think this is good. Don't invest into CLOVER Finance, is my opinion. But yeah, MANTA has a really slow increase in dots, and if they are able to win the Parachain slot auctions with this this amount of dot raises, that means that if they win in the last auction, that means they will probably win with the lowest amount raised. And as I told you before, if the projects raise a low amount of dots, your rewards will increase. In contrast to if they if they raise a lot of dots, then your rewards will decrease per dot contributed. And this is why I think MANTA network is really going to be a banger in this auctions. If they win, I think you can expect around $120 per dot contributed. I mean, if they win with this trajectory, then this is very much possible, because that means that they will raise around the 10 million dot mark. And if we look here, I even calculated it a bit on the upper end, so I calculated a bit on the negative side for the investor, so I calculate that they raise a bit more, but even that will mean that they have the best reward ratio in the first slot auction so far, if we compare the other projects. And that's why I'm really bullish on MANTA network, and also they increased their special rewards, so you also get 5% for referral code directly from MANTA network. And here I again encourage you to use the direct referral code for MANTA network in the description below, so we get 5% more MANTA token rewards. And as the MANTA token will trade at fair value, this is or as you get a lot of rewards, 5% of that it's quite substantially. So if you contribute, don't forget to use the referral link. And well, I would be really happy if MANTA network wins, because first of all, I think they got a great utility. Here, great value proposal. They have a nice allocation schedule, and most importantly, they are giving out the best rewards. And currently, they are competing with CLOVER Finance, and I'm kind of sad to see CLOVER Finance on the path of winning one of the auctions here, because I now found out why they're Web3 Foundation grant was terminated, and it seems to be the case because of two reasons. Because firstly, they supposedly copied code of ACALA, as they're both doing DeFi. And secondly, they were raising additional money via a private token sale on, I think it was on CoinList or something. And that was not allowed, or that the Web3 Foundation saw this as a problem and they terminated their contract. And I think for the part of where they copied code of ACALA, I mean, even if the code is open source, this is not a good sign for a project to do that, and that's why I don't really like to see Clover Finance leading over MANTA network, but that's how the situation is right now. That's why I also hope that more people will contribute to MANTA network so that it can overtake Clover Finance. And also MANTA network is the project with the best reward ratio, with, in my opinion, the highest sentiment, and in my opinion, the best rating overall. And yeah, I think that was basically it. So here again you can see the trajectories, and I adjusted the funds raised in DOT. And oh yeah, coming back to that, so I put most of my funds into MANTA network, so about 80% I put into MANTA, but I also backed one project that is not expected to win in the first Parachain auctions, and this is SubDAO. Again, I contributed to SubDAO because I really like the project and their value proposal, and even though they're not, then they will probably not win, and well, I contributed to them for personal reasons, and also for the reason that if these projects compete again in the second batch of auctions, what we have seen in the Kusama Parachain Slot Auctions, we have seen that sometimes they're giving out extra rewards for supporters in the first auction batch. So I'm kind of hoping that this project will do something similar. So I think it was like Genshiro did it on Kusama. So if you contributed to them in the first auction and they have lost, and if you have contributed to them then in the second auction again, you were able to double your rewards. And that's why I contributed to SubDAO, to show my support of the project, and also to if they do that, I mean, probably they will not, but if they are thinking about some of this special incentive for them to win the second auction, to win a Parachain slot in the second auction batch, then yeah, for that reason I contributed to them, even though they will not win in the first auction batch. And well, you probably know that if they do not win, you will get your dots back after the first auction, so they're ready to be used in the second auction, and you don't have any actual losses if those projects will not win. Okay, I think that sums it up pretty good. Again, I encourage you to use the referral links to increase your rewards. And that was it for the first Polkadot Parachain Slot Auctions. I wish you good luck with the auctions, and I'll see you guys for the next auction batch.